Hi guys, good afternoon. So let's start new topic. Today topic is how to auto increment in MongoDB. Okay, using nestjs, graphql, typeorm. So there are two types. First is schema first, and second is code first. So we will using a code first. Okay, so let's start like this. GraphQL typeorm. Okay. So firstly, we will check output. Then step by step, I will explaining the how to create a services, how to create a schema for MongoDB related, and how to managing the sequences collection is different, and your primary key. Sorry, how to increment for ID is mentioning the different way. So firstly, I will show you step by step output. Then we will going to backend side. So I will going to firstly output side. Okay. See here already one two record inserted in my table. So here is PID means auto increment level. Okay. Here is showing the three and already two record is inserted. Okay, so let's start and save button like as a temporary data is inserted. Okay, and I click on save. Okay, then record is saved after auto increment showing the 4. Okay, I will show you here auto increment value the 4 and here is 3. In case if you third record is deleted. Okay, second time is not showing the third, showing the fourth record. Okay, you got it. Also I will show the collection. Okay, going to MongoDB's, here is sequence is very important. I will refresh the sequence. Here is created sequence. So yeah, ID means PID, which auto increment field is increment. So here he is mentioning the dash ID, PID, and sequence is 3. And document type is created a custom collection for which collection you mentioning and which collection inside a document type is mentioning. Okay, so there is document type and document name is extra parameter I added. So not the U for important. So U for important this one. Okay, so like I click on delete. Okay, click on delete, then your auto increment is totally removed, and I click on refresh, then showing the one. Okay, first time showing here one. Yeah, this one, not any auto increment values. Okay, so going to backend side. Okay, so I will show you backend side code. So step by step, so we will using firstly node.js. Inside framework is nestjs. Fully TypeScript basis is development, not JavaScript basis development. Second is there are REST API and GraphQL API. We will using GraphQL, okay, not a REST API. One more thing. Second is using also typeorm for needed for declaring the schema, okay, and MongoDB obviously using database, and yeah, that's it. So this is structure. Okay, so I will explain step by step. So firstly, you create a services. Okay, services inside the sequence create a nest services. Okay, here create entities. Entities here mentioning the firstly object type schemas entity. Okay, so here is ID. ID means you mention properly at the props type is string, not any object ID. Okay, then you facing the runtime issue. So mentioning the field is string and ID also the props is also type is string. Second is collection name is also string and document type is also string, but sequence is a number because every time is increment the sequence. Okay, so here mentioning the sequence is number. So point to DTO means like it's a create firstly create sequencing. So here is input type create sequencing input. Firstly is field sequence name with sequence name wise creating. Second is collection name and third is document name. There is three field is important. Second is sequencing input. See, create sequence is different. Sequence input here is passing the sequence name facing the specific sequence name wise data and filter inside object of C GraphQL JSON object. Okay, so filter typeorm filter type type of GraphQL. So here passing the collection name, document name, and so on. Your condition wise is filtering the data. And third is sequencing remove input. Here is also input remove. Field is ID. Array of ID is passing and remove your records. Okay. Yeah, this is very not right now important, but there are create a sequencing input and sequence input is very important, right? Third is a response. Okay, a response means like as okay, object type. Here is sequencing response. First is success masses and data. Data is JSON, similar GraphQL JSON. Means use JSON formatting. Passing. Otherwise, you create a JSON and mentioning the data type is JSON. But I'm easy for GraphQL JSON because maybe runtime auto increment the extra parameter, then GraphQL JSON is supported. So update is not important, but create a response and entity is important. So we will going to also the sequencing first import Mongo's model feature. I know is basic concept is nestjs, but again I will explain. Okay, so name which your collection is name sequencing dot name means like as a sequencing dot yeah sequencings. This is collection name is automatically generated and schema. See here is created schema. So here is created schemas classes, entities, and object type. So here is export constant sequence document, sequencing and document. Here is export classes schemas, sequences schema. Here is schema factory is provided nestjs mongoose. Okay, and create for class is sequencing. So we will going to modulars is creating a sequence of the collection and providers also the resolver services and export in case another service import and then using the your sequences service. Okay, and then your sequences model is export. Okay, so going to resolver here created mainly three. Firstly is creating sequencing is very is mutation. Okay, and mutation type is sequencing response. Here is creating argument is input. Okay, input inside a create sequencing input. Input means sequence name, collection name, and document name you runtime passing. Then you service inside a create one service create and response sending to success message and data. Already here mentioning the success message. See here is where is different. Yeah, going to here inside. Yeah, success message and data. Data is JSON format. So we will yeah okay this is type. This is creating for the creating sequence is very important mutation. Second mutations is specific find record. Okay, specific find is again similar mutation. This is mutation not a queries. Okay, so name is sequential and also here name is create sequential. Here name is sequential. Find one argument is input similar to find one. Create a service inside find one. I will explain also This one, all the methods in service, but here is mutation created. Okay, so third is like as yeah, third is get sequence next value. Okay, here also the mutation sequence response. Okay, input sequence input. Here is also the service inside create another service get request next value. This is very important, okay, for auto increment. So here is passing the input, and after that, if you create a, if you getting the sequence next value, then automatically you passing the success message and response. Okay, these are creating all the mutation. Okay, got it. Then we will go into service inside. So services are firstly inject model defining sequencing model. Okay, the sequencing model inside defining sequencing document. So here is very important. Find one. Here is payload. Payload inside defining sequencing info, because here is create yeah, sorry, find. Yeah, find over here is input is sequence input, so also similar to service inside sequence input. So constant filter equals payload dot filter, because payload inside a sequence filter inside passing the filter. Okay, then client is passing the input type inside a filter like as a whatever your condition, like collection name, document type, whatever. Okay, then you capture as filter object, then constant record this dot sequencing model dot find put the object of filter, then condition is applied and returning the your records condition wise, and pass the again resolver and resolving passing to the client, then Apollo client is capturing and showing the data. Also I will show the front end code. Okay, but this is backend code. Backend is very important. Once you backend is understand, then easily you understand the front end. Okay, then second service is get sequence next value. This is very important. Okay, here is input inside sequence input. Here is return new promise resolver. You using arrays asynchronous wait, or you using a promise, anywhere your choice, but right now I am using a promise. So these dot sequencing module dot find by id and update. See, here is using find by id, now find by id and update. So if you capturing the data, then automatically updating the increment by one. Got it? Here is very important. So finding dash id input sequence name and immediately increment sequence one. If you have a sequence is one, then you find you calling this service, then automatically return the one, but automatically increment next at a time two, because here is next parameter is assigning the increment sequence one. Then any rejection, any reject, then you error the reject, and you get a counter, then resolve sequence counter plus one plus counter dot sequence plus one. If you sequencing collection inside sequence one, then here you passing two. Okay, this is very important. Then create. Okay, create is very important. Payload here is create sequence input is passing. So constant input id, here also the payload dot sequence, because it's string runtime any you passing. Then sequence initially one. Okay, initially one is assigning collection name, your client is passing, then document time client is passing as your requirement, and here is create, then input. Okay, this is a for create a sequencing collection. This is create a sequence collection, but where calling, so this is very important. So see, patient registration, if I click a save button, then immediately create a sequence and also auto increment PID, because PID is different collection, is patient manager inside. Okay, so I will explain this one. Going to registration, registration inside patient manager going to entities. Okay, here is create a patient manager, all the entities. Okay, got it. Object of schema, here is entities. See, here is mentioning the PID is number, not a string, because PID is auto increment number. Okay, so field props and column PID is number. So all here is creator. Firstly, export type is patient manager document is equal to patient manager and document. Here is creating patient manager document and export console patient manager schema. Also create a schema factory, create schema patient manager. So this is very important. So here is patient manager schema dot pre-save. If you patient manager save, okay, patient manager save before this function is calling, okay, means like this one is patient manager save. Where is create? Where, yeah, create. So here like this await this dot patient manager model dot create before calling this one, because schema assigning the dot pre save and next is if you all the execute the code, next is column. So here is endpoint, so I will explain the endpoint. So here is create a query. Okay, query for mutation, get query next value means next value. Here is passing input, sequence name is PID. Okay, message, success and data. Then variable is right now not important variable. Client is very important. New client, which library using GraphQL request is very important. Okay, then here config.endpoint. So endpoint is very important. If you development local, then your node env is development. If you code on deploy on server, then your is production based. So endpoint, GraphQL endpoint obviously change. Also I will explain the how to manage locally endpoint and server endpoint, but just wait. Before you understand this code, then endpoint is I will explain the later. Okay, here is the GraphQL is endpoint is assigning, then client dot request query is passing, query is mutation. Okay, so here is mutation is already created. I will explain the resolver. See, get sequence value inside pass the input. So here is calling the mutation, yeah, mutation input sequence name. Then if you not your success, then create a sequence. Okay, again query is created, mutation, create queries. Here input passing, sequence name PID, collection name is blah blah blah, document type is patient manager, and you getting the successor message. Then if you getting the successor message, then global dot patient manager PID is create a variable, because global is like is anywhere you create, then access the anywhere your choice. Then data is create, then here is data is create sequencing data sequence next. Okay, else part, if you already you have a sequence, okay, then is here is getting the sequence. Okay, sequencing value, and after that calling next. Okay, after that you after before create this is function is execute, then going to service base. Okay, here is create a patient manager here is, so constant record await this patient manager update dot create info. Okay, then your patient manager is collection is created, record is created. After that immediately update the PID. Okay, here is await this dot patient manager update by, okay, find and update at a time using. So here is record.id, passing the immediately record ID, and PID is global dot patient manager. Global dot patient manager, where is coming? So here is coming patient dot manager, we will storing here. and immediately access to here and new true execute and return the record. This is way for increment the values. So I I hope ki you understand better easily way. If any doubt, then immediately me ask me ki any queries, any doubt. So or send me email or comment me on video. So I will check your comments and immediately respond to you. So I hope you understand properly. If you not understand, so please pause play video and step by step check the method. So uh, this is code. Then I will explain the local endpoint. So we will managing the here package.json. Package.json is dev. We will using a command this one npm run dev for development starting. So cross env library install your dev dependency here. Okay, so because cross env is multiple system is supported, like as you have Linux, Windows, Mac, then automatically working. Here is node env is equal to development because right now if you npm run dev, then automatically node env set the development. If you going to production, then automatically your Azure AWS instance or Azure is app services calling the start, not dev. So dev is next directly start. Here is getting the node env production is getting. Okay, but if you running the npm run dev, then not env development. So this is managing. So then going to configuration going to config hearing managing endpoints. Okay, managing config.endpoints. Here is process.env node node env is equal to dev. So going this URL, okay, localhost has GraphQL. Otherwise, if you going to production, then use the this URL. Okay, this is the logic. And then endpoint config.endpoint, then use directly here. Firstly import the config and your GraphQL query client. So use the config.endpoint. Obviously, if you're running on local npm run dev, then getting the local GraphQL endpoint. If your this project is going to Azure, AWS, any production side, production server, then getting the server URL. Yeah, that's the logic. So I hope you understand also code and also endpoints. So if you any queries, then please ping me. I will immediately respond to you. So take care, bye bye, and also subscribe my channel. Okay, and share also the link.